Hello and welcome to Reel on this last weekend of October, a month dedicated to the Rosary. So it was fitting that Springfield Parish Our Lady of the Rosary recently celebrated its centennial. And as Steve KILTONIC explains, it is a steadfast faith which has been a hallmark of this parish over the years.
On Sunday, October 8th, Our Lady of the Rosary Parish celebrated its centennial anniversary with a Mass concelebrated by Springfield Bishop Mitchell Rosansky, Pastor Stanislaw Sokol, and other priests and deacons of the Springfield Diocese. As is the custom, a loaf of bread and roses were presented to Bishop Rosansky as a welcoming gift. In his homily, Bishop Rosansky praised the brave ancestors of Our Lady of the Rosary Parish, many of whom came to America with only a few pennies in their pockets.
Those brave souls who sought that better life came to these shores. They came with promise and with hope. They came with the rich cultural heritage and a deep faith. They came seeking for their children and their grandchildren a life that was better than they had.
Father Sokol, who has served as pastor for nearly 20 years, said the Polish immigrants who came at the end of the 19th century to Springfield, Indian Orchard, Ludlow, and Chicopee were mainly from southern Poland. They came for jobs, and many of them found work in the numerous mills and factories in the area. Before Our Lady of the Rosary Parish was even established, the Jan Sobieski III Brotherly Aid Society was founded in 1910. Its main purpose was to provide life and health insurance for its members, many of whom had never previously had insurance. Other societies or sodalities would also play an important role in parish life for the next century.
St. Stanislaus Bishop and Martyr Sodality or Society, Holy Rosary Sodality, Polish Women Alliance of America, Group 422. So these societies or sodalities, they were like inspiration for younger parishioners.
In 1917, Father Stanislaus Orlamansky, a young, energetic priest from Philadelphia, was appointed as the parish's first pastor. Before a church was even built, parishioners attended Mass at St. Anthony's Maronite Catholic Church on Liberty Street. In 1919, with money donated by parishioners, property was purchased on Franklin, Underwood, and Linden Streets in Springfield's North End. A multipurpose school, church, convent, and community center was constructed on the site. Soon after, the Vinton homestead on Underwood was donated. It was used as the rectory. Once the parish was founded, immigrants soon started to acquire homes in nearby neighborhoods, and Springfield's Polish community started to grow. Alexander ZIELINSKI is a lifelong parishioner whose family history here goes back to the 1930s. ZIELINSKI and his siblings all received the sacraments and attended school at the Franklin Street complex. ZIELINSKI, the parish historian, said Father Orlamansky was revered as pastor.
He was a beloved pastor of the immigrants, and he worked very, very hard. He was a very hard-working person. He wasn't afraid to be a mason or carpentry or whatever needed to be done. He was out there with the working men and doing the work. And people loved him for that because he was one of their people.
ZIELINSKI, whose father worked at Hathaway Bakeries, recalled his school days during the 1940s when Polish was taught by the Sisters of Nazareth.
We had Polish Bible history, Polish history, spelling, mathematics. All the subjects were taught in both languages.
Greeting the students each day was the guardian angel statue, which stood at the entrance to the school. The population of the parish continued to grow, and in 1939, ground was broken for a much-needed church. Many parishioners participated in its construction without pay until it was dedicated in 1940. Jenny Starzyk Benton grew up across the street from the church.
My mother came from Poland, and we got married here in 1939, and that was in the school hall. And from there on, of course, our family, the kids, we got baptized here. We made our first Holy Communion, our confirmation. We got married here.
Jenny attended the school at Our Rosary for 8 years.
Father Orlamansky used to come into class, and we used to be scared to death when he walked in. He was very strict with the kids, and of course the sisters also. The school itself, we had like in 7th and 8th grade was one classroom. So it was like a private school. There was only maybe 15 of us when we graduated.
The much-beloved Father Orlomanski died on March 16, 1960, after serving 42 years as pastor. Father Ladislas Rice was then named the parish's second pastor. He was followed by Father John Skoronski. On July 26, 1963, a 4-alarm fire destroyed much of the church's interior, causing $500,000 in damage.
The ceiling caved in, the windows, the beautiful windows that we had here, the stained glass windows, were blown out, and the floor caved in, and everything was just one terrible mess.
Many parishioners returned the following day to clean up and to salvage what was left. Over the ensuing months, the tragedy pulled the Polish community together. A temporary church was set up in the social hall.
People were very upset when that happened, but we all got together behind it to rebuild the church. It really meant something to have this church back.
Like the mythical phoenix, the church rose from the ashes. After extensive renovations, it reopened on Christmas Day, 1965. In the 1960s, the city of Springfield took over part of the parish property, including a convent and half of the rectory behind me, for urban renewal and the construction of I-291. In the process, the parish was not only changed physically, but its very fabric was altered forever.
Yes, it did affect the parish community because it went like to the heart of the parish. People were starting to move out. They lost their properties. All these streets here, the Underwood, the next, they are just dead-end streets because the highway came. And that was kind of the beginning of a slow but steady deterioration of a parish community.
Today, the immigrant flow from Poland, which was once a tidal wave, is now a trickle. After the anniversary Mass, the celebration continued at the Oak Ridge Country Club in Feeding Hills for a reception, dinner, and music by the Eddie Foreman Orchestra. ZIELINSKI also read a proclamation from Springfield's Mayor Sarno. No matter what the future may hold in store, this parish can be proud of its 100-year history and the many who came to worship over the years. For Real to Real, I'm Steve KILTONIC.